at Jerry World. It almost worked out, but it didn't. And yet, despite what I saw last night, which I think was a flat Indianapolis Colts team, somewhat looking ahead to next Sunday night, I believe Peyton Manning is going to go home and wreak havoc on Jim Irsay, in part for the quotes that we talked about earlier in the show, especially the Star Wars quote in which Irsay called out Peyton. And again, we both agree that he's truthful in what he said.
All he does is win.
Lived up in the postseason in Indianapolis to the seeds that he won during the regular season. Always a high seed. 7 of 11 times they went out in the first round. No good. But now that that's on the record, now that's on the table, I think you're going to see Peyton Manning play possessed. Take no prisoners, no quarter. He's going to go for that jugular on Sunday night. And I will remind you, Peyton Manning right now is playing at the highest level we have ever seen any NFL quarterback play at. He's making the game look easier than any quarterback I know I have ever seen. He is averaging right now per game 363 yards passing. That's number one in the NFL. Andrew Luck, on the other hand, averaging 224 yards passing a game, which is 25th in the NFL. I just put that in perspective for you. And I loved it that after the Jacksonville game yesterday, Peyton Manning lashed out at not only his team, but people inside his own new organization by saying, and in effect, I'm paraphrasing, there are people in this building who do not appreciate how hard it is to do what we've done so far this year. He is trying to snap this team back to attention after the Jacksonville game that they struggled through. He's trying to refocus his team. Von Miller returns to the defense, and I believe that's going to add some new, fresh pop to that defense. Whether you like Von Miller and what he went through or not, the young man can play football, and he can bring some energy and some pizzazz to that pass rush that it has not had for about the last 3 or 4 weeks. Champ Bailey seems to be getting a little better each week, and all of a sudden I think that defense won't be nearly as vulnerable as Tony Romo made it look at Jerry World. So we can save our scores for later in the week, but I think Peyton is going to take his pound of psychological flesh.
He's going to show up and show out?
Yep.
You make nothing but salient points. There's no doubt about it. You're right on the money in terms of, just rationalizing what's going to transpire. But at the same time, there have been several instances this season where you said, all the odds point against me, all the facts point against me, but I just feel, my gut tells me, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel about this game on Sunday. I truly believe that. I will say to you that the combination, it just seems like a storm right now against my belief, because you got the Irsay quotes, you got Von Miller coming back, you got Peyton Manning upset at the organization for not even appreciating what has been done thus far. All of those things resonate to such a degree. So you do have valid points, but I still believe those are the kind of things that can work against you, and it's to the point where a loss might wake people up better than anything. And I think a loss like this is where it occurs. This and at Kansas City for Denver.
I respect gut feelings, and I respect yours, even if it's going to be wrong.
I like how you had to point out